Old house night. A storm rages outside. Lightning flickers through broken windows. Inside, the house stands still, its wooden floorboards creaking with each gust of wind. Narrator VO. Every town has its secrets. In this town, the secret lived inside the Blackwood House, a secret that refused to stay buried. We see Sarah early 30s, holding her daughter Emily 10. They step inside with boxes. Behind them is David mid-30s, her husband, carrying luggage. Sarah, it's bigger than I expected. David, and cheaper than it should be. That's why we grabbed it. Emily looks uneasy, staring into the dark hallway. EMILY. Mom, someone's upstairs. Sarah kneels, brushing Emily's hair. Sarah, it's just the wind, honey, nothing else. But Emily continues to stare. Why died? Cut 2, and upstairs hallway. Same night. A shadow flickers briefly against the wall. The faint sound of whispering echoes. David sets down a box, muttering. David, old houses always make noises. We'll get used to it. He walks away. The shadow lingers behind him. And living room. Ladder family unpacks. Sarah lights candles because the power hasn't been connected yet. Emily sits on the floor, drawing in her notebook. Her drawing shows the house and a dark figure standing in the upstairs window. Sarah notices. Sarah, that's interesting. Who's that, sweetie? Emily doesn't look up. EMILY whispering. She lives here. Sarah frowns. Sarah, who told you that? Emily shrugs and keeps coloring. And bedroom. Midnight. Sarah and David sleep. The storm has quieted, but the house groans as if alive. Creak. The bedroom door opens slowly by itself. Emily stands there, trembling. EMILY. Mom, she was in my room. Sarah sits up instantly. Srawo. Emily whispers, pointing back into the hallway. EMILY. The woman with no face. Lightning flashes, revealing, for just a second, a tall, dark figure at the end of the hall. The figure vanishes. Sarah gasps, but David wakes up groggy. David, what's going on? Sarah shaking. I think we're not alone here. The candle by the window flickers out. Darkness swallows the room. Bedroom. Night. Room is dark. Only the sound of rain dripping from the roof. Sarah clutches Emily, while David shakes his head. David, it's a dream. That's all. You just scared yourself. Emily hides her face against her mother's chest. Sarah, firmly no. David, I saw something too. There was someone in the hallway. David exhales, frustrated. David, old houses play tricks. Tomorrow we'll check every corner. For now, sleep. He gets up, shuts the door, and lies back down. But the unease remains. In Emily's room. Later that night, Emily lies in bed, hugging her stuffed toy. Moonlight seeps through the cracked window. She glances at the closet door. It's slightly open. Creak. The door opens wider, slowly, silently. Emily's eyes widen. Emily whispers, Mom, but no one hears. A shadowy hand slides out from the darkness of the closet. Long, twisted fingers scrape the wooden floor. Emily hides under her blanket, trembling. Suddenly, silence. She peeks out. The closet door is shut tight. Emily clutches her toy, too afraid to move. And kitchen. Morning. The next day, Sarah makes breakfast. David drinks coffee, pretending everything is normal. Emily sits quietly, whispers without lifting her head. EMILY. She doesn't want us here. And living room. Later boxes still scattered. Sarah digs through old papers left in the household bills. Faded letters. She finds a newspaper clipping. Headline. Local woman vanishes from Blackwood House -1965. The photo shows a stern-looking woman. The article describes how she was accused of witchcraft by neighbors before she disappeared. Sarah shivers, holding a clipping. Behind her, Emily's crayons roll off the table one by one, as if pushed by invisible hands. Sarah whispers to herself what happened in this house. And upstairs hallway, evening. David walks down the hallway with a toolbox. He's trying to prove the noises are just pipes and floorboards. He kneels, tightening a screw on a loose board. Suddenly, whispers echo softly all around him. A woman's voice, low and broken. Voice whispering, get out. David spins round. David, Sarah? Emily? No one is there. He breathes heavily, gripping his tools. Then, at the far end of the hall, the tall, faceless woman appears.
Living room. Night. Rain lashes against the windows again. The house feels alive with sound, groaning walls, rattling pipes, faint whispers. Sarah paces nervously while David sits stiff on the couch, lost in thought. Emily draws quietly at the table, humming an eerie tune. Sarah? We can't ignore this anymore, David. Something is happening to her. To all of us. David, sharply, stop. The more you talk about it, the more real it feels. Sarah's eyes flash. Sarah, it is real. Emily lifts her drawing, A stick-figure family standing under the house's roof. Above them, a dark, faceless woman towers, arms stretched wide like claws. Emily softly. She said she won't let us leave. The lights flicker. Basement door. Later that night, Sarah notices the old basement door ajar. A cold draft seeps from it. She grips a lantern, steps down cautiously. The basement is filled with rotting furniture, broken jars, and dust-covered shelves. A damp stench fills the air. On one wall, she notices scratched words. "She is mine." Her lantern flickers. A faint figure moves in the corner. Sarah whispers, "Who's there?" Suddenly something slams the door shut above her. Darkness. The lantern dies. Sarah screams, pounding on the stairs. Moments later, the door creaks open by itself. She stumbles out, gasping, slamming it behind her. Bedroom. Same night. David comforts Sarah, though his hands shake. "David, this Martha, or whatever it is. It's just a story." Emily interrupts from the corner. "Emily," she says, "the house is hers. She won't rest until someone takes her place." Sarah freezes. "Sarah? What do you mean?" Emily's face is pale, her voice hollow, almost not her own. Emily in a deeper tone. "A life for a life." The room's temperature drops. Their breath fogs. David grabs Emily, shaking her gently. "David, stop it. This isn't funny." Suddenly, Emily's eyes roll back. She shrieks in a voice not her own. Emily screaming, "Get out!" The window bursts open, wind howling inside, papers and objects flying across the room. Sarah clutches Emily, praying. Finally, the chaos stops. Emily collapses unconscious. Kitchen. Morning. The family looks exhausted. Sarah dials an old phone number written on the back of the newspaper clipping she found. Sarah on phone. "Hello? Are you Reverend Carter? My name is Sarah Blackwood. We need help." Her voice trembles. The Reverend's deep, steady voice comes through faintly. "Reverend Carter VO. You're in that house, aren't you? The Blackwood place." Sarah grips the phone tighter. Sarah highs. "Please. You know about it. Reverend Carter VO. I know enough. Do not go near the basement. I'll come tomorrow night." The line goes dead. Emily's room. That night, Millie sleeps restlessly. Sarah sits beside her bed, watching. David keeps a baseball bat near the door. Suddenly, the closet door opens again. Slowly, Sarah holds her breath. A faint, crooked figure steps out, taller than the doorway. Its faceless head tilts unnaturally as it approaches Emily's bed. Sarah screams. "Sarah, stay away from her." David swings the bat wildly, but it passes through the shadow. The figure vanishes instantly. Emily wakes up screaming, clutching her chest. "Emily, she's inside me." Sarah and David freeze, helpless as Emmy.
Living room. Night. The storm has returned, hammering against the windows. Candles flicker weakly around the house. Sarah and David sit in silence, holding Emily between them. She looks drained, pale, and whispers in her sleep. "Knock, knock." The sound echoes through the house. Sarah rushes to the door and opens it. Reverend Carter stands there, an older man, tall and stern, carrying a leather bag. His eyes scan the house as if he already knows what waits inside. "Reverend Carter, this place is worse than I feared." He steps inside. The candles gutter almost out as he crosses the threshold. Dining room. Night. Reverend spreads out old books, a silver cross, and vials of holy water on the table. "Reverend Carter, the woman you've seen, Martha, she was accused of witchcraft. But what truly happened was darker. She made a pact before death. Her soul clung to this house, demanding another to take her place." Sarah shudders, holding Emily's hand. "Sarah, she wants my daughter." The Reverend nods grimly. "Reverend Carter's, and she'll stop at nothing." David slams his fist against the table. "David, then end this." The Reverend begins preparing. Emily's room. Later, the Reverend stands at the foot of Emily's bed. Sarah kneels beside her, clutching Emily's hand. David stands guard, bat in hand, though his face betrays his fear. Reverend Carter begins his prayer. His voice is steady, but the house groans in protest. "Reverend Carter, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, I command you leave this child." Emily's eyes snap open, glowing faintly. She sits upright. Her voice "Martha, Martha." David stumbles back, swinging his bat wildly at nothing. Emily's OOM continues. Millie thrashes violently, the bed shaking beneath her. Sarah weeps but refuses to let go of her daughter. "Sarah, fight her, Emily." Stay with me. The Reverend presses the silver cross against Emily's forehead. Smoke rises, and she screams with a sound that isn't human. Reverend Carter, by the blood of Christ, I cast you out. A dark silhouette rises behind Emily, tall, faceless, shrieking in rage. The walls crack, paint peeling, the entire house trembling. Sarah clings tighter to Emily, shouting over the chaos. "Sarah, you can't have her. She's my daughter." The shadow lunges forward. The Reverend throws holy water, and it recoils, screaming. The air fills with the stench of burning. Emily collapses back onto the bed, breathing heavily, but the shadow lingers in the corner, refusing to leave. The Reverend grips his cross tighter, sweat pouring down his face. Reverend Carter shaking. This spirit is stronger than I feed. The wrath of Martha. Emily's room night towel shakes as if alive. Furniture rattles, glass shatters, and Emily screams as the shadow hovers over her. Reverend Carter yelling over the noise. She's resisting. She doesn't want to leave. Sarah clutches Emily tightly, whispering prayers through her tears. "Sarah, please. Don't take her. Please." Suddenly, the lamps burst. The room plunges into red gloom as if lit from inside the walls. Emily possessed. Snarling, "You cannot stop me. She is mine." The faceless figure lunges, slamming David against the wall. He crashes hard, dropping his bat. Blood trickles from his forehead. Sarah screaming David. He groans but struggles back to his feet, and hallway continuous shadows crawl out from Emily's room, racing down the hallway, spreading like ink. Pictures fall from the walls, doors slam shut one by one. David shouting, "The whole house is turning against us." The Reverend stands his ground, raising his cross. Reverend Carter, Martha, your time is over. You will not claim this child. The shadows recoil, but only for a moment before surging back stronger, and Emily's ROOM continues. Emily levitates above the bed, arms spread wide, hair floating as if underwater. Her voice is no longer hers, deep, layered with rage. Emily demonic voice, "A life for a life. One must stay." Sarah sobs, shaking her head. "Sarah, take me. Then, leave her alone." The room goes silent. Even the storm outside halts for a breath. The faceless shadow turns towards Sarah slowly, tilting its head, voice echoing, "Your life, for hers." Emily drops back onto the bed, gasping for air. The Reverend shouts quickly, "Reverend Carter didn't listen. That's how she traps you. If you give in, she wins." Sarah hesitates, torn between faith and desperation. And living room. Moments later, family and Reverend flee into the living room, hoping to break free of the spirit's hold. But every exit door slams shut, locks twisting on their own. Windows crack and splinter, but refuse to open. David pounds against the front door with his shoulder, but it won't budge. "David, we're trapped in here." The Reverend opens his book again, voice rising in prayer. "Reverend Carter." The light casts out the darkness. "Martha, you will not keep them." A shriek echoes through the house, loud enough to shatter glass. The chandelier above snaps from its chain and crashes to the floor, barely missing David and Emily's room. Return. Emily's body jerks unnaturally, her eyes now pitch black. Emily and Martha's voice, "She has chosen. This child belongs to me." Sarah screams, shaking her daughter. "Serrano, fight her, Emily, please. Come back to me." Emily's small voice emerges for a moment, weak and desperate. Emily faint. "Mom, help me." The Reverend steps forward, pouring holy water in a circle around the bed. "Reverend Carter." Then we fight to the end. The house roars with fury, as if Martha herself is
the final stand-in. Emily's room night house is howling, every wall trembling as if it will collapse. Emily writhes in the center of the bed, surrounded by the Reverend's circle of holy water. Sarah kneels by her, sobbing, while David clutches his bleeding head, refusing to give up. The faceless shadow towers over them, its voice echoing like 100 whispers. Martha voiced through Emily, "You cannot banish me. I was born in this house. I will die in this house. And the girl is mine." Reverend Carter shouting, "By the authority of heaven, I cast you out." He presses the cross against Emily's chest. She shrieks, her body convulses violently. The lights flicker, glass explodes, books fly off the shelves. Hallway continuous doors slam open and shut in rapid succession. Shadows crawl along the ceiling like black vines. The wallpaper peels, revealing claw marks hidden beneath. The storm outside grows louder, wind tearing at the windows. Emily's room continues. Emily levitates again, her small body contorted in pain. Her eyes flicker between black and normal. Emily weakly, "Mom, help me." Sarah grabs her daughter's hand. Sarah, through tears, I'm here, baby. Fight her. She's nothing without you. The faceless figure leans closer, almost inches from Sarah's face. Martha echoing, then give me yourself. One life. That is the bargain. Sarah squeezes Emily's hand tighter, shaking her head. Serrano, you can't have either of us, int. Living room, same time David stumbles in, grabbing the last candle that hasn't been blown out. He holds it high, voice trembling. David, if it's light you hate, then burn. He throws the candle into the circle of holy water. Flames erupt suddenly, forming a glowing barrier around Emily's bed. The faceless figure recoils, shrieking so loudly the walls crack. Int. Emily's room, final battle. The Reverend's voice grows louder as he chants. The flames rise higher. Emily's body jerks violently one last time. Reverend Carter begging, Martha Blackwood, you have no claim here. The shadow lunges forward, trying to tear through the flames, but it catches fire, burning in blue light. Its faceless head twists back unnaturally as it lets out one final scream before shattering into ash that vanishes into the walls. Sudden silence. Emily drops back onto the bed, unconscious but breathing normally. The storm outside dies instantly. The flames extinguish. The house is still. Int. Living room later. The Reverend wipes sweat from his face, exhausted but calm. Sarah holds Emily in her arms. David sinks into a chair, shaking, relieved to be alive. Sarah to Reverend, is it over? The Reverend stares at the dark corners of the house. His voice is steady but uncertain. Reverend Carter, for now. But spirits like her, they never vanish completely. They wait. Sarah clutches Emily tighter, unwilling to let go. The camera pans toward the cracked wall. For a split second.
Blackwood House. Dawn sunlight filters weakly through broken windows for the first time since the family arrived. The storm is gone. Dust floats in the quiet air, and the once living shadows are nowhere to be seen. Sarah sits in the living room, holding Emily close. The little girl stirs, her face peaceful again. David limps in, carrying a bag of ice against his bruised head. The three sit together silently, too drained to speak. Reverend Carter stands at the center of the room, staring at the cracked walls as if listening for something. Sarah whispers, "Is she gone?" The Reverend doesn't turn. His face is grave. Reverend Carter vanished. Yes. Destroyed. No. The house remembers her. As long as it stands, her spirit may find a way back. Sarah shudders, pulling Emily closer. Ext. Blackwood House. Morning. The front door creaks open. For the first time, the family steps outside into the fresh morning air. The house looms behind them, broken but still standing. Sarah looks back, her eyes filled with both relief and dread. David, we're never coming back here. Sarah nods silently. Emily holds her mother's hand tightly, glancing back one last time at the upstairs window. For a moment, just a flicker, a faceless silhouette stands in the glass. Emily squeezes her eyes shut, refusing to look again. And church? Day later. Reverend Carter kneels at the altar, lighting a candle. He places his old book and cross gently on the table, whispering a prayer under his breath. As the flame steadies, his shadow stretches unnaturally long behind him across the church wall. It flickers once before returning to normal. He notices but says nothing. His lips tighten. Reverend Carter quietly, "It's not over." Ext. Blackwood House night epilogue. The camera pans across the empty, decayed rooms of the Blackwood House. Silence fills every corner. Dust and broken furniture remain as if nothing happened. Then faintly a child's laughter echoes through the holes. A shadow moves across the wall, stopping at the old basement door. The words scratched into the wood, "She is mine," glow faintly in the dark. Suddenly, the door creaks open by itself. A cold wind rushes up from the basement,